The Chicago mayor is panicking and begging Trump for mercy as local communities revolt against him for his lack of action during this crime crisis in his city. I'm going to break down all the details of this story and reveal the facts, because Democrats have been caught lying about the status of Chicago.
Well, let's remember that mayor has a less than 6% approval rating in Chicago. So the people who live there, less than 6%, think he might be doing somewhat of a good job. Overwhelmingly, that man is a failure. He's a failure for his people and hasn't stood up for the victims of the crimes that have happened in his city. So we're going to keep doing our work. Every day when we're there doing our operations, when I'm there with them, people on the streets are clapping as we do our work. They're clapping as these officers are arresting these bad criminals. And out of the 12 that we arrested during the short period of time I was there, 6 of them had criminal records in their backgrounds that the state had arrested them and just turned them loose on the street again for assault, for weapons possession, for robbery. Those individuals now are off the streets thanks to President Trump, not thanks to that mayor who's delusional.
Christine Nogueira destroyed Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson for his lack of leadership in resolving the crime problem. She highlighted that only 6% of locals believe the mayor is doing a good job. Now he's in full panic mode, realizing what's going on. This guy has signed orders to help criminals rather than the Trump administration and his own people. He's asked law enforcement to stand down and let the city burn. He's failed to protect small businesses and federally owned buildings. The walls are closing in for Brandon Johnson, and he knows he's doing a terrible job. Genuine question, do these guys think they're doing a good job? Or are they just doing what benefits them and not caring? Are they really that blind to reality? It's terrifying either way. Let's hear what this failing mayor has to say.
Yeah, so the resolution in and of itself, as stated earlier, is the first step towards a series of actions that we have to take to reshift our focus away from the failed racist system of policing and incarceration.
Of course, the mayor blames racism for his poor performance. That's all Democrats have left when their leadership is questioned. Whenever there's a crack in their armor, it's suddenly racism. You can't talk with these guys. They're letting women get attacked in their city under their watch and do nothing. I saw a video where Fabio, yes, the romance novel guy, told Bill Maher about his friend, a retired Italian judge, saying law enforcement there won't act because they're scared of being called racist. It's a disgrace. In Chicago, local leaders tell police, don't do anything. Don't clean up the streets. Don't keep people safe. It's insanity. Roll the clip.
And as soon as I did, he hit me in the back of my head with a fist. I take the train for work, for everywhere I go, so right now it's been a little stressful. I kind of have anxiety getting on the train, worried something else might happen to me, unfortunately, so it's been a little bit of a struggle.
And you found out from police and other women that you're not the only one who's experienced this kind of attack.
Yes, police have told me they've been getting calls about him, and I've seen online as well, women coming forward to me telling me as well that they've been harassed, even sexually too. He's grabbed people sexually as well, not just punched them.
Hey, fo, you be punching motherfuckers, fo? I'm dead. Fo, you not even like that, little bro. Punch me. On B, punch me.
No, he came up to me like, excuse me, miss. I walked away and punched him in the head. Yeah.
An innocent woman was attacked at a Chicago train station by someone arrested over 30 times, let back onto the streets, and committing the same crimes repeatedly. That's enabling. How can Mayor Brandon Johnson sleep at night, knowing he's told law enforcement to release criminals leading to this? It's outrageous. Then he blames voters, Trump, and racism for his 6% approval rating. You've done a terrible job. If you showed up, took charge, and cleaned up the streets, maybe criminals would stay in jail, and people might support you. But he's done nothing positive in office, siding with criminals, signing stand-down orders for police. Crime numbers are worse than ever under his watch. He's in political jeopardy because Trump is doing what he said he'd do. Voters in Chicago are sick of him. So Trump is sending federal agents and National Guard troops to salvage the situation.
The president is not interested in communicating with those of us who are on the ground every single day, and we know what it takes to govern our cities. And we're doing all the good work, right? Our investments have led to some of the greatest declines in violence across this city and across this country. This president
we have
is
those stats.
unserious.
Let's put them up on the screen.
Yeah, so 30% reduction in homicides, 35% reduction in shootings and shooting victims. Violent crime is down as a whole over 20%. You know, in fact, we had the fewest amount of homicides in the summer since 1965, one of the safest summers we've had in over a generation. This is not about deportation.
Johnson goes on fake news networks, claiming he's doing a great job and crime numbers are the best. That's not true. We're seeing more shootings and stabbings every weekend. Nothing in Chicago is getting better. Walk 10 feet and you'll see small businesses with bars on windows boarded up to prevent vandalism and theft. He can blame whoever he wants, racism, the sky, but facts are facts. Brandon Johnson needs to be removed from office for doing a terrible job. Governor Newsom's got to go too, ruining California. The Trump administration will enter Chicago with National Guard troops to the mess. It'd be nice to see some cooperation from local officials like Johnson.
The Department of Homeland Security says agents were boxed in by 10 cars and one of the drivers had a gun.
Hi, John. DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin says law enforcement officers were boxed in by 10 cars this morning in Broadview, Illinois, the very same area where anti-ICE crowds have been gathering for days. She said, quote, agents were unable to move their vehicle and exited the car. One of the drivers who rammed the law enforcement vehicle was armed with a semi-automatic weapon. She says law enforcement fired defensive shots at an armed U.S. citizen who drove herself to the hospital to get care for wounds. McLaughlin also said that the armed woman was named in a CBP intelligence bulletin last week for doxing agents and posting online, hey, to all my gang, let's F them up. Don't let them take anyone.
Violent crime in Chicago won't end until local law enforcement and politicians do their job. Charlie Kirk believed in people getting involved in government to affect grassroots change. You start locally, branch up, and eventually, the bad guys at the top realize the people woke up, saying, no, we care about America. We want clean streets, not rampant crime. They don't want innocent people shot just for living their lives. People attack ICE facilities and agents with no consequences. That's ending as the Trump administration refocuses on Chicago and deploys the National Guard. He'll clean up house, like in D.C., and get a huge pat on the back. Democrats aren't winning any points. If anything, Chicago could flip Republican because of their terrible job. Democrats leave a massive disaster, crime in Chicago, economic inflation, government shutdowns, all due to their incompetent leadership. The mayor knows he's under pressure with a single-digit approval rating. He's got few options left. He'd be wise to let the Trump administration do their job and help a bit. We'll see what happens. That's all from us at the American Zone. I'm Griffin, your host. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below, and let me know what you think. I read the comments. Who would replace Brandon Johnson, and why would they be a good fit? I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.